As you guys can see, the streets in Albuquerque are dead. It's the week of the holiday week. We just passed Christmas and we're heading into the New Year's weekend. Now, you'll probably be watching this on Thursday, so it got me thinking, man, with the streets being this dead, I know that there's an area here that's a lot more busier than you would actually think, and it's because it connects Albuquerque to Corrales, Rancho, and the east side very well. The malls there, Costco, Sam's Club, tons of shopping, restaurants, and even some medical areas that are close to this area, but really in Rio Rancho, that are going to drive a lot more people to pass through here. So in today's video, we're going to be going over the Cibola area and everything that it has to offer. So grab your pen and your pad and let's get into today's video. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Look, I know that this almost seems kind of weird to be talking about a place that's so busy and a place that's so dead, but it really just got me thinking, like, hey, I know there's areas in Albuquerque that are going to have a lot more action going on than downtown Albuquerque where our office is located at. So I really want to get into that conversation today. And again, guys, thanks again for stopping by the Living in Albuquerque channel. My name is Eli. If this is your first time tuning in, do yourself a huge favor and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys are never missing out on any videos, because I am dropping videos every week talking about what our beautiful city of Albuquerque has to offer. Now, if you are looking to move down to Albuquerque within the next 30, 60, or 90 days, that number popping up on the screen is our direct line, and I love to get on a quick video call with you and our team. That way we can make sure that you are making the right decision on the area, the neighborhood, and everything else that you're looking for in a home here in Albuquerque. But let's get into today's video. Now, what makes this area so popular, and I'll be honest with you guys, not only is a Cibola school a high school that is pretty much integrated into this neighborhood, and there's a ton of kiddos that go there. You know, we'll get into that conversation here in a bit, but really this side of town has all the majority of shopping, restaurants, and it connects Rio Rancho and Corrales to Albuquerque. So a lot of residents that live on this side of town have to pass through this area in order to get to their homes. Now, you are going to be conveniently located near some of the major roadways like Alameda and Paseo and Unser and Coors. So that is going to be another reason for people to want to live on this side of town, just because it's conveniently located next to all these streets, making it super easy and convenient for you to get to all your stores, all your shopping, and anything else you need to do on the other side of town. Let's talk about Cibola High School, because this high school gets a lot of attention, and I would have loved to come to this high school, you know, back in the day, just because they have a massive skate park. And Cibola High School has over 1,700 kiddos that go to this school, so it's pretty big in a sense. And not only that, it offers a ton of the kiddos. It being super close to the two most desirable neighborhoods in this side of town, you're looking at Ventana Ranch and Paradise. So a lot more parents are choosing this neighborhood because it's super convenient and super easy for the kiddos to be able to walk to school, bike to school, and also skateboard to school like I would have back in the day. A-rated school by niche.com, so it has a ton of offer from its educational system, sports curriculum, and, you know, outdoor kind of extracurricular activities. I don't know, maybe they offer a skateboarding class just to make sure that these kiddos stay out of trouble. So another major reason why a lot of people are moving to this side of town is because of the shopping and the convenience that this side of town offers. So this is another reason why it's super busy, because all the major retailers are going to be on this side of town at the Cottonwood Mall. Now, outside of that, you are also going to have some of the more major restaurants, Longhorn, Texas Roadhouse, Red Robin, and all those guys parked within the same vicinity there. Now, they also have like Costco, Sam's Club, pretty much 5 to 10 minutes from each other, so a lot of traffic there, especially at their gas stations. If anybody pumps gas at Costco, I feel sorry for you guys, because it's always a super long wait. I would never wait in those lines, but that's just me. But really, guys, tons to offer on this side of town. And if you are kind of like a shopaholic or you enjoy shopping therapy, this is going to be a side of town that you're going to want to look into, even though there is some crowds. Now, this area is pretty much a transit area for two different areas here, I guess suburbs of Albuquerque. One is going to be Rio Rancho, which is a city of its own. So we got to give credit where credit is due, and Corrales, which is still considered a village of just because of how tiny and small it is. I mean, I don't even think that there's more than probably 17, 2,000 residents within the whole kind of area there, because it's old farms and old ranches. And believe it or not, it has one main road, and then it kind of splits off into these different other little neighborhoods. But really, guys, touching on this, Coors is going to connect Rio Rancho and Corrales very well to this side of town, and Unser is also going to connect Rio Rancho. So very busy, especially during those traffic hours of early in the morning and late in the evening, especially now during the holidays. I can just imagine with everybody just kind of going to the mall and all the different restaurants and all that stuff, it's probably busy. Now, it is going to connect the east side of Albuquerque very well to this side of town, and that's why a lot of people are choosing to live in places like Ventana Ranch and Paradise, just for the convenience of not having to deal with a whole lot of freeway traffic, because believe it or not, as far north as these streets are, there is a lot less people traveling on them, because a lot more people are using I-40 and I-25 and Unser to commute back and forth from home to work if they are working on the east side of Albuquerque. Now, a couple of weeks in October, really the first 2 weeks in October, are going to be super busy in this area just because of the balloon fiesta, and a lot more people are staying at the Airbnbs that people have picked up on this side of town, just to make it really easy and convenient for people to travel to and from the balloon fiesta using Alameda or Paseo. All right, and Rio Rancho and Corrales just have a ton to offer. Rio Rancho, as an up-and-coming city, has over 100,000 people that live here, and there's still a ton of room to grow. It's actually where a lot more of my clients are moving to, just because there's room to expand, and you can still get an acre of land for about $40K, so super affordable. And Corrales is just bougie. Farms, ranches, little markets. They even got their own community center with their own pond, and it's still that slowed down living. So one main road, right? All these little local shops all around the little area, restaurants, breweries, and all that stuff. So if you are looking to live in a transitional area like the Sebel area, you can benefit from both of these places. Now, you also can enjoy the outdoors here, because they have a ton to offer when it comes to the outdoors, right? You can still go hiking, biking, doing all these different activities that require for you to get outside. And plus, you're smack dab right in the middle of the Jemez Mountains, which has the hot springs. You're pretty much like 30 minutes away from the Sandia Mountains. You're also 10 minutes away from the Bosque. So anywhere that you can drive to is going to be a quick and easy drive if you do want to get outside, right? Hiking, biking, walking trails, all these different activities that you can do, just to make sure that you're not staying indoors all day, because, sometimes staying indoors all day gets kind of boring. If you ask me, I'm a big outdoor guy, so I'm always going to talk about this, and maybe that's why I live in New Mexico, because I can take full advantage of doing things like this, right? Yesterday was terrible weather. It was freezing, and that's why hence you see a different hat, because it's a different day. And, just look at the weather. Super nice and sunny, not a cloud in the sky. It's warm, it's not windy, and you're going to want to get outdoors, so why should I not talk about those kinds of things? The living situation in this side of town is pretty cool, right? You're going to have a mix of residential areas with condos, apartments, some urban style living with some rural style living, right? With Rio Rancho and Corrales still being somewhat undeveloped. And Corrales is more ranchy, kind of slow down vibe, and that village likes to keep it that way for a reason. And then Rio Rancho is just still up and coming, so there's a ton of areas that aren't super developed yet. Like, I went out to go show a house for Clayton Homes, and the area didn't even have water hooked up to it, and they said could be within the next 5 years, 10 years, we don't know. That's how far out it is. And they did have electricity, but they didn't have sewage or water. So just to kind of paint the picture for you guys, that living on this side of town, you're going to have best of both worlds, right? Urban and rural living. And you're so close to the North Valley that having all that greenery and ranches and farms is going to be a breeze to you guys. So, if you do want to enjoy some greenery, you can. If you do want to enjoy the desert, you can. If you want the urban lifestyle, you like being in the mix, you can do that too. Man, I just talked about a bunch of different things on this walk, and it's pretty cool to kind of give you guys an inside look of what to expect. And it's one of the busiest areas in Albuquerque. Now, taking a look at it, I haven't even talked about price point, and I'm sure that's a very important thing, right? You guys want to know how much it's going to cost to purchase a house in this area. And to be honest with you guys, if you are thinking about moving down here, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. Feel free to reach out, call, text anytime. Me and my team would love to hop on a quick call with you guys to make sure that you're making the best decision about what area you're moving to. I mean, at any place in Albuquerque have that, but really guys, the average price point in this area is going to be around $339K and some change. Right now there's a little over 80 homes for sale. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're all around that price point. Some are actually above, just depending on how far closer you are to Coors, right? So with that being said, guys, you're really going to want to dive into why you're living in this area. Is it because of the school? Is it because of price point? I mean, this area is family friendly. It's very walkable, tons of things to do and tons to offer. So let's get on that call, talk about what's going to best fit your needs. Now, you guys are probably wondering about new homes, right? Because resale homes are cool, right? They're always going to be there, but really, where are all the new homes being built on this side of town? Because there's a ton of you that always ask me, like, hey, what do new homes look like? They're offering great incentives. Like, can you tell me more? So I'm here to tell you that this side of town isn't building a whole lot of new homes. They're mainly in Rio Rancho, but it's so damn close that you might as well just call it Albuquerque, because literally it's like you like this, right? You hop on one, hop on the other, and you're in one city and then you're in the next. But you can buy a home in Los Diamantes that's being built by Pulte, and then Westway and Hakes Brothers and D.R. Horton are also building homes here, and they're starting in the low 400s. They're really trying to cater to that luxury style of living, since the original homes that were built in this area are new homes. They're custom built homes. And if we drive up and down the road that I almost nearly broke my car in because it was unpaved, a lot of the homes in this area are big, elaborate homes with nice long driveways. So you can tell that they're trying to keep up with what the previous people who purchased and built there have already done. All right, guys, now I gave you guys a ton of good information, hopefully making that decision to move down to Albuquerque a lot easier for you guys. And I just want to make sure that I give you as much tools as I can, because I know what it's like moving to a different state. And you guys are always reaching out, asking me a ton of different questions all about these different areas. And this one being one of the busiest. I know it sounds like something negative, but it's actually busy for a reason, because it has a ton to offer, from schools, healthcare, shopping, restaurants, all this great stuff, right? That I personally find myself traveling to that side of town just for these subtle conveniences. But really, to get into the last part of this video is my final thoughts, and I wrote them down. I don't want to seem too scripted, like I, practice this or rehearse this. So I want to make sure that you guys feel the full authenticity that I'm giving you guys through these videos. And hopefully, because a lot of you do reach out and you guys are always like, man, that really is you. I'm shocked, you really are answering. Yes, that is me on the other line. And again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. So feel free to reach out if you're planning on moving down to Albuquerque within the next year, 6 months, next 90 days, whatever the case is. We move at your pace, and we want to make sure that you get all the right information. But really, guys, this area, right, number one, is great for young families and people who are looking for convenience. To be honest with you, with everything around there, like I just said, shopping, healthcare, and even, the school, how close it is to the residential neighborhoods, you are going to find it super convenient for the kiddos and for yourself, for your day-to-day tasks. So not only that, but it's still very affordable, right? It being number two, $339,000 and some change isn't a whole lot, considering most metro areas that have all this to offer are going to be over that $500,000 mark, right? And it's just a basic home. And these areas, you have a ton of unique homes with a ton of unique things to offer, and it's really diverse. I'm telling you, when we drive up and down these neighborhoods from Ventana Ranch, Paradise, and then Taylor Ranch even, you'll see that the style of homes change, and that's just because of the cultural diversity that we've experienced here for years. Everybody has a great idea, everybody brings their own style, and it's not just all flat roofs, that Southwest New Mexico style. We actually got some flavor and some steez. And to be honest with you guys, this side of town has plenty of access ways. So you're looking at like Alameda and Paseo, Coors and Unser, that make it super convenient to travel from the east and the west side, especially for work and those kiddos. So if you got to go to a soccer practice, a baseball practice, or you're trying to get to work on the east side, this is going to be super easy and convenient for you. So something to really think about. And tons of outdoor activities, right? I'm not an outdoors guy. How am I not going to talk about it in every video that I put up? I literally talk about all the different outdoor activities that there is to do here, and that's a whole reason why a lot of people move here, because you can enjoy the outdoors pretty much all 4 seasons, right? Yesterday was just super cold and gloomy. Today it's nice and sunny. Now that the sun's starting to go down, it's getting a little colder. So, hey, it's normal, right? The sun's going down. We better get inside, right? Normal living, call it old school, call it whatever you want. Some people like it, some people don't, but to each their own. Now, Cibola, that school alone is a good school, right? A-rated by niche.com. It got a freaking skate park. Like, what more could you want? And then this side of town is so close to other different, cities and suburbs that you are never going to be bored. There's always going to be something to do. But really, guys, I hope you take all of this information, make it work for you. Feel free to reach out. If you missed that number, rewind this back, write it down, take a screenshot, do whatever you got to do. Send me an email, text, whatever it is, because I am the one on the other line, and I want to make sure that you're making all the right decisions before you move down here. And me and my team will hop on that call with you, right, to direct you in the right direction. But other than that, guys, it's freezing out here. Since the sun is starting to go down, it was nice earlier, but now that I'm in the shade, my hands are starting to freeze, and they are dry, and they're starting to crack. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.
Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray.